She was a master storyteller, authoring dozens of crime-solving stories with vivid details and iconic characters. But just as her page-turners captivated our attention, so did her own mysterious disappearance, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the already fascinating life of one of literature's greatest mystery writers.
Their contributions made the world a better place. This is Women Who Made a Difference.
Today we delve into the world of one of the most renowned and cherished authors in history, Agatha Christie. Some call her the Queen of Crime, the Mistress of Mystery. Agatha's story begins on a quiet fall day in September of 1890 in the town of Torquay, England. Her parents were Frederick and Clara Miller, and they gave their new baby the birth name Agatha Mary Clarissa Miller, and she was the youngest of three siblings. Growing up, Agatha was a curious and inquisitive student. She loved to read. She loved to solve puzzles, some would say with a detective-like fervor. She got her early education at home and later attended boarding school. That's where she started to really hone her writing skills and develop a love for storytelling. When she was just 24, young Agatha Miller married a young dashing aviator, Archibald Christie. The year was 1914, and he was a pilot in the Royal Flying Corps during World War I. The couple would have one daughter together, Rosalind Hicks, but the marriage was not a happy one. And those marital troubles may just be one of the things that led to Agatha Christie, the creator of mysteries, becoming the very focus of one herself. You see, Agatha went through a very difficult period in her life around the time her marriage was coming to an end. It was one of those chapters in life where everything seems to be going wrong. Her marriage was in trouble. Her mother had died. Her father had died. Now, it's believed that this combination of events contributed to Agatha Christie having a nervous breakdown in 1926. That's when she disappeared for 11 straight days. During this time, her car was found abandoned near a lake. This set off the biggest manhunt in British history for a missing person. And the search became a national sensation and was reported in the press as the mystery of the disappearance of Agatha Christie. Rewards were offered in the papers for information about her whereabouts. Some accused her husband Archie of being involved. But after 11 days, someone recognized her on the streets of Harrogate and called the police. After the incident, Agatha Christie claimed she had suffered amnesia, saying, "For 24 hours, I wandered in a dream and then found myself in Harrogate as a well-contented and perfectly happy woman who believed she had just come from South Africa." Well, not everyone believed her account, but the sensation died down and people went back to reading Agatha's books. In her career, she would write 66 books. Her first one, get this, was rejected by 6 different publishers, finally being published in 1920. Her determination to not be discouraged by all those rejections was a gift to the world. Imagine if she had decided before that 7th publisher said yes, that it just wasn't going to happen and she'd given up. The world would have lost one of the greatest authors of all time. One of Agatha's passions was traveling. In 1928, she took the Orient Express to Istanbul. Then she traveled on to Baghdad. There, she became friends with an archaeologist. He invited her to come back in a couple years when he was planning his next big dig. Well, she took him up on the offer, and she left England and returned to Baghdad in 1930. It was on this trip she met Max Mallowan, a man 13 years younger, and a man she would marry within just a few months. And the marriage would last more than 4 decades until Agatha's death in 1976. Her experience of international train travel sparked the idea for her most famous novel, Murder on the Orient Express. In the story, the Orient Express train comes to a halt due to heavy snow on the tracks, and it's not long before a murder is discovered. And on the passenger manifest is the infamous sleuth, Hercule Poirot, who uses his wit, intelligence, and attention to detail to solve the case. Poirot is a character that appeared in 33 of her novels. In addition to being featured in Murder on the Orient Express, he also appeared in another Agatha Christie masterful creation, Death on the Nile. Set on the banks of the Nile River, the wealthy heiress Lynette Ridgway is murdered on her honeymoon. The book navigates the exotic landscape and the complex web of relationships among the suspects to uncover the truth behind the murder. These legendary novels are a testament to Christie's skill as a storyteller, and they continue to captivate readers and audiences alike with their timeless appeal. In her lifetime, Agatha Christie wrote 66 detective novels, 150 short stories, and her works have been adapted for film, television, and stage. In one of her short stories, from 1927, she introduced the character of Miss Marple, an older woman who acts as an amateur consulting detective. Miss Marple went on to become one of her most famous characters, appearing in 12 novels and 20 stories from the late 1920s until her last appearance in 1976. Another crowning achievement from the Queen of Crime is Mousetrap, a play that was first performed in London's West End in 1952, and it ran continuously until the COVID-19 pandemic forced the closure of Mousetrap and every other production. Performances began after the pandemic started to die down, and the play will soon give its 29,000th performance. It's the longest-running play in the world, and it's estimated that 10 million people have seen the play in London over the last 7 decades. The play is a classic whodunit with a twist at the end. What Agatha Christie accomplished in her life is simply amazing. In the 1950s, she was reportedly earning the modern-day equivalent of $2.5 million a year from her books. When she died at the age of 85 in 1976, she was the best-selling novelist in history. It's estimated that over 2 billion copies of her books have been sold in more than 100 countries. With that many sales, only the Bible and William Shakespeare have outsold Agatha Christie. What does that make her? The best-selling female author in world history, and a woman who made a difference.